GL.
Nani cheesy kama yeah. I've been faded, I've been naked, in different places, many faces, X-rated, yeah. I've been patient, I've been waiting. No other one that's come around can do the things you do. Who keep come around, we smoke a lot, Canadian pot, G's and bomb. Catch a wine, dance along, bounce along, baby, bounce along. Wine and dine, made your mind, it's a clear sign that no other one that's come around can do the things you do. Nobody else can match my energy. Cheesy come my yeah. Cheesy come my yeah. We up all night and still we tryna be busy on the AM. Cheesy come my yeah. Cheesy come my yeah. Cheesy come my yeah. Oh yeah. Cheesy come my yeah. Cheesy come my yeah.
I've been faded, serenaded, celebrated. Ooh, very patient. See, I'm not so complicated. Kakwama on my mind, your toes are juicy, align. Moyo kapiga sign, kisha underline. Only free because you let me be. That's the love I want for me. Long time was so baridi. Can't deny the chemistry. Ukakwama on my mind. Tuka alive. Tuka bigger sign.
Nobody else can match my energy. Cheesy come my yeah. Cheesy come my yeah. We up all night and still we tryna be busy on the AM. Cheesy come my yeah. 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 Come my yeah. Oh yeah. Cheesy come my yeah. Cheesy come my yeah.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Pawa Radio. from sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Happy new month. It is the 3rd of November. The year is 2025, and welcome to the Monday edition of the Power Morning Drive Show. I hope you had yourself a fantastic weekend. I know I did, because we definitely had a good time at the Ubuntu Rhythm. Shout outs to our producer, Miss Ital Groove herself, Flozz Munyiri, for creating a third space really for us to come and just hang out together and reflect on something that is absolutely beautiful, like music. And this time, this edition, or the past edition of the Ubuntu Rhythm, we were celebrating the life and legacy of the one, the only Lucky Dube. It was quite a good time, I have to say. I saw some hidden talents of some people, like the one and only Boniface Mwangi. I definitely saw him dancing. DJ CJ from Gift of Gab, shout out to him. He did alijiachilia wewe mpaka I was like, so hip hoppers can also become reggae nerds in one or the other and have a good time as well. So pretty much was an amazing time. I also danced the whole afternoon away. I'm still recovering, because as a woman in my 30s, my goodness, some of my organs need like 1 week to recover from all the dancing that we did. But shout out to Flozz, man, and everything that everybody who was able to come through to the Ital Groove event. We had a really good time, and I can't wait for the next one as well. So that's just about my weekend. I don't know about your weekend. I don't know where you were, what you did. Please let me know. You can get us on our social media handles. We are Power Radio across all socials. You can also text in, call in live on 0748379231 as well. Find us on our YouTube channel. You can find us on YouTube, that is Power Radio, and of course on our website www.power254.org/Power Radio. And unfortunately, we had a little bit of a technical hitch, but we apologize for that. Working on we've now sorted it out, or rather, my producer, my very able producer, has sorted it out. Yeah, but we apologize for that little technical hitch there. Easy vitu do happen. But to give you a glimpse of what to expect on today's show, of course, I start off with what's happening on our roads this morning, with the day's traffic updates, and then we get into some newspaper review. And later on the program, I am going to be joined by Mr. Kerry Mwita. Now, he is a human rights defender. He's an activist. He's a young Kenyan who is a very active citizen. And we're going to be looking at the state of human rights in Kenya now, with recent happenings across the country, and not just the country, across the region as well. There has been a clampdown on human rights defenders. The latest cases being Nicholas Oyo and Bob Njagi. We are seeing a very worrying trend of people being abducted or disappeared or disenfranchised, and just kind of being alienated from society, especially if they are fighting for our rights. They are, doing the work of activism. And so we have a conversation with Mr. Kerry Mwita today to assess where we are at and what needs to be done, who needs to be held accountable, what can we do, what are the solutions that are there in place to ensure that the human rights defenders are protected by all means, and that we have systems and structures that can be able to protect them from all that harm. But for now, let me get right into what's happening on situations on these roads of Nairobi this morning. Let me do a quick look at the Super Highway. The madness, of course, starts today at Survey area as you make your way towards town. It's bumper to bumper. I can also see that Limuru Road is looking so busy this morning, especially from that area of the village market, making your way towards Karura Forest. Same situation also happening along Red Hill Link Road from Gashia as you make your way towards the Limuru Road exit over there. Peponi Road, same situation also from Kitsuru Road down towards the Westlands area. Absolute chaos this morning. The Wanyoike Way Red Hill Link Road is looking absolutely crazy as you make your way towards Wanyoike Way. Then the spillover also happens along James Gishuru Road as well, both into town and out of town. Same situation also happening along Lavington Road, all that spillover towards Kileleshwa. Things are looking bumper to bumper as well. Let me see what's happening along Gong Road. And there's just a little bit of a snarl up there. You head from the Naivasha Road along Riruta there. As you make your way towards the Adams Arcade and Prestige Plaza, it's slow but it's surely moving, so nothing much to complain about on that front. Langata Road is not looking too shabby this morning, actually looking very good on your end. There's only just a little bit of a snarl up from Galleria Mall down towards the Nairobi Animal Orphanage area, but it soon clears out after that. Mombasa Road is where the madness starts. Starts at the Next Gen Mall down towards Bunyala Road. That whole stretch looking absolutely chaotic this morning. I can see that the Southern Bypass is also looking very busy, especially as you make your way towards the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. That route for Embakasi down towards the Cabanas area, looking quite busy. So if you can avoid that route, please make sure you do. And that wraps up our day's traffic updates. Remember, you can get in touch with us in case of any incident that you would like us to know. Please do not hesitate. Reach us out. The hashtag to use is hashtag Power Morning Drive. Let me take a quick breather. We'll come back and we get right into our newspaper review. Keep it Power Radio.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
And they're about to kill it. You ain't ready for this, Nairobi. If you killing it, put your hands up in the air for this one time.
Feeling so fresh, so juicy. Only rock with the best, I'm choosy. I got the sauce, I'm choosy. In the ghetto at the same time, bougie. Ooh, wanna take a photo, cause my style look good. Caught a good vibe, I can feel it in my soul. Driving around Nairobi like a boss. I don't mean to brag, no, I don't mean to floss. Of course, on the highway, listening to Kagwe. Kune Westy, thank God that it's Friday. Man, we so fly, it's our time. On the dance floor, do my latte wine. I'm a kawaida, I kill it, I kill it, I'm a kawaida, I kill it, I kill it, I'm a kawaida, I kill it, I kill it, I'm a kawaida, I kill it, I kill it,
kama kawaida, niko na mistari na niko na mawaida. If she asks for money, never leave with the broad. And if he say he'll pay you next week, he's a fraud. East African girl, hella mean with the quad. One time, then I leave with the squad. She say she got the sauce, I got the mayo. The way I rock the city, Nairobi be like, ayo. Hey, we can chill in my car. You can listen to my new sheet. Now do you like it or not? Yeah. Can you with my bullshit? Hey, wanna babaika? I feel it, I do. Oh, the way I kill it, I do. And anything you want, yeah, I bill it, I do.
I'm a kawaida, I kill it, I do.
Oh,
I kill it, I do. I'm a kawaida, I kill it, I do.
911, we are bird.
I'm a kawaida, I kill it, I do.
Oh, yeah.
I kill it, I do. I'm a kawaida, I kill it,
McQueen start. Favorite part. Ride around Nairobi sitting pretty on the tracks. I'm thinking my new flag is greater than you can. Imagine venue to Milwaukee, with my clan. Let's talk about it. I've been about it, dream about it. Work so hard I became about it. Work so hard they became about me. Ask about me, ask about me. What's surrounding? All the squad is who's around me. All the sauce is who's around me. Real, trill, live for the thrill. Lucky Luciano, baby, live for the kill. Deal. In something important, for something important. Kuhaso, Nick constant like I kill it, I do. I kill it, I do. Kamakawa ida. I kill it, I do. I kill it, I do. Kamakawa ida. I kill it, I do. I kill it, I do. Kamakawa ida. I kill it, I do. I kill it, I kill it, I do. Too much time.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
I come a girl a week ago. Come a movie and a pizza dough. You been gone for so long. And I think you're creeping though. I never had to sleep alone. When I call you, don't pick up the phone. Let me break the sign down, 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 down. My credit card, she's spending. She's spending, spending. Friend request is spending. All this time. So many lies she just been inventing. Inventing, venting. Long time pretending. I don't know. Wanna lie. Relationship goodbye. Got you creeping, creeping, creeping. Got you creeping, creeping, creeping. No more Mr. Nice Guy. I'm sick of you and your type. Got you creeping, creeping, creeping. Got you creeping, creeping, creeping. Just about a week ago, when I met her, we were so in love. Like a gift from the stars. Can't cut a man sleeping, yo. She a party on the weekend though. Weekdays and even Easter, bro. She done mash up my life. She has spent the time requesting. Facebook requesting, double tapping, commenting. Oh my Lord, she is creeping up with my best friend. With my best friend, man crying and stressing. I don't know how. Man, I can't lie. Relationship goodbye. Got you creeping, creeping, creeping. Got you creeping, creeping, creeping. No more Mr. Nice Guy. I'm sick of you and your type. Got you creeping, creeping, creeping. Got you creeping, creeping, creeping. Siku hizi misinanga time. Zama dem die yani panga line. Kazi yangu ni kumanga life. Na nikipata wife si kama wewe yani pata knife. Cheki vile nime underline. Venye lili kupata ukiwa underline. Ati babe, it's not what it looks like. I see you trying to get ahead in life is what it looks like. I ain't even mad though. All of the Bordeaux and chateaus went straight to my head like afros. And now I'm combing it out with some mad dough. And did you think I'd plateau? Fall on my face in front of all of the space, but be sure I'm gonna wave to you when I drive out this place with my Lambo. Hey, me not fi have time. Me not fi have time for this, nah. Me not fi have time for all this paranoia, 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 paranoia. Me not fi have time. Me not fi have time for this, no. Me not fi have time for all this paranoia, 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 paranoia. Me not fi have time. Me not fi have time. Me not fi have time for this, nah. Me not fi have time for all this paranoia, 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 paranoia. Me not fi have time. Me not fi have time. Me not fi have time for this, no. Me not fi have time for all this paranoia, 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 paranoia. Relationship goodbye. Got you creeping, creeping, creeping. Got you creeping, creeping, creeping. No more Mr. Nice Guy. I'm sick of you and your type. Got you creeping, creeping, creeping. Got you creeping, creeping, creeping. Man, I can't lie. Relationship goodbye. Got you creeping, creeping, creeping. Got you creeping, creeping, creeping. No more Mr. Nice Guy. I'm sick of you and your type.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
I wish that someone told me caution is a virtue, people can hurt you badly. I wish someone told me protect your heart, you're smart if you keep it healthy. Heart disease will eat at your trust and keep you from loving with ease. Hey, we be kissing all day, chasing all the pain away. This kind of loving is for lovers only. Oh yeah, we be kissing all day, chasing all the pain away. This kind of loving is for lovers only. I wish that someone told me don't waste your time talking so negatively. Wish that someone told me save a little hope it's over before you know it. I wish that someone told me real love is real, I found her all of a sudden. She's beautiful, a lover, not a fighter, I'll never let her go. Yeah, we be kissing all day, chasing all the pain away. This kind of loving is for lovers only. Oh yeah, we be kissing all day, chasing all the pain away. This kind of loving is for lovers only. Yeah, we be kissing all day, chasing all the pain away. This kind of loving is for lovers only. Oh yeah, we be kissing all day, chasing all the pain away. This kind of loving is for lovers only.
It's for lovers only. It's for lovers only.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
All right, welcome back. That is Lovers Only by Tetu Shani. It's playing right here on Power Radio. Yes, where you tune in and power up. My name is Wanyoike, and this is a Power Morning Drive show where you make your mornings count. Let's do a quick run through of what's happening on our dailies this morning. And I can see on the cover page of the Daily Nation, we have a top story there. Oburu, it's DP or nothing. Bombshell ODM interim leader Oburu Oginga has drawn a bold red line in Kenya's post-Raila Odinga politics, declaring that the party will not settle for anything less than the deputy president's seat in 2027. For both President William Ruto and the United Opposition, this proposition comes with some tough and consequential political arithmetic. That is a story that has been highlighted on page 4 and page 5 of the Daily Nation. And that's interesting because when we had our conversation last week with Mr. Jared Oye from the ODM party, or the ODM Youth League rather, I did ask him which candidate would they front for president at the ODM party, and he gave us names like the current Secretary General, Sifuna. We also had the current CS Treasury, John Mbadi, and it's an interesting thing to think about. Like when Oburu says that they're not going to settle for anything less than the deputy president seat in 2027. I think two things could be true. So one, it could be, yes, it's absolutely possible to have that kind of arrangement happening within the ODM camp. But secondly, of course, it's a strategy to keep the party relevant, and I don't know that we need like a top leader in government or in a position of leadership as high as the deputy president to clinch that seat so that the ODM party can still remain relevant. And of course, given its track record over the last 20 years, it's very clear that the stakes of the ODM party are mostly held by the members and the people, and it's definitely like almost a cult following. If you ask me, I don't think there's any influential party in this country as the ODM party has been able to do and achieve in being that very relevant party within its fanatics and also its followers. But it should be an interesting 2027 match for sure. It should be a very interesting. Goal, especially as we gear up towards the general election. So something to look forward to. But if you want more details that are in depth, they have been highlighted on the page 4 and page 5 of the Daily Nation. If you can find that paper, please make sure you do that as well. We also have a story here on devastation as landslide death toll climbs to 26. At least 26 people have been confirmed dead, while 25 others are still missing after a catastrophic landslide swept through the Chesongoch in Elgeyo Marakwet County over the weekend, prompting a large-scale rescue and relief operation by government agencies and humanitarian teams. The government has launched a full-scale search and recovery effort in the affected Marakwet East villages, which have been left devastated, with hundreds of people displaced amid ongoing fears of further mudslides. And it's a very worrying trend. Jamaica is just going through its own devastating Hurricane Melissa right now, with a very high death toll as well. And I think one of the things, some of the conversations that I was listening in, when listening into this conversation about Mother Nature, landslides, and what's not happening, or what should be happening, is that climate change is one of the factors that people are talking about in these spaces. And just like, what are we doing? What are our governments doing to ensure that we are investing in climate justice? We make sure that we are investing in, ni mikakati ipi imewekwa, si kutengwa tu, tunashindanga tukitenda in this country, but we never get to see what actually the preventative measures are for this. And by the time people are being found by a mudslide, that means that there is some sort of encroachment that has happened. One, if you know that land is not suitable for human living, or settling, or settlements rather, then why should you allow people to build their homes there, yet that it's an area that has high possibility of having landslides and mudslides and stuff like that would be detrimental to human life as well. And so there's many things that we can say about these things, and I hope that, our condolences to the ones that have lost their loved ones through this very unforeseeable circumstances. But we hope that it's a lesson for us to really, really, really start having serious conversations about how do we mitigate our relationship with Mother Nature as well. And then, of course, Tanzania elections. Chadema rejects poll results as Ruto silence on vote questions. Of course, whatever is happening in Tanzania, a lot, on last week, the president, Samia Suluhu, was announced that she became the president again, or rather she was announced the winner of the poll that just happened, with a 97% clinching of the vote. But it's very Tanzania is not yet stabilized from that election, and there has been post-election sort of violence, if I can say that, but more so it's a retaliation of the citizens, because they are saying that and I think it's Martha Karua who was saying in a statement last week that that's a coronation, it's not an election, because how can you have an election without let's say other candidates, right? And so the conversation around Tanzania, and I know that we can have this conversation with my guest this morning about what's happening deeply, because it's not just an issue of politics, and it's not just an issue of electioneering. It's about democracy. It's about democracy in decline across the region, and it should be worrying for us. It is worrying for us that it's not just happening in Kenya, but you see it in Uganda, Tanzania, and other neighboring countries, and also other countries across the region. It's quite worrying to think about and to see. So it should be interesting what the next couple of maybe 1 month or so looks like for Tanzania. So please, if you can, grab your copy of the Daily Nation to get that full scoop. The Standard is also leading with the story that the title is Captured Tanzania Massacre. If Mwalimu Julius Nyerere were to return to the nation he built on the ideals of Africa unity, the paper writes, he would be horrified, as Tanzania's first female president fought to secure her own mandate. Blood flowed across the land, cut off from the world during and after polling. Tanzanians endured what rights groups now describe as a bloodbath that was hidden behind an official blackout, but laid bare through reports shared with their Kenyan counterparts. That is a story, very heartbreaking pictures as well of just dead bodies lying on the streets. Page 4, 5, 6, and 7 on the Standard newspaper. And it's very reminiscent of what we experienced in Kenya in 2007. It just gives me a lot of anxiety and worry to think that we could be receding back into what we've tried to build to get away from so bad. It's very retrogressive, very, very retrogressive, seeing this kind of regional democracy, decline in democracy that is regionally happening. And all for what, really? Securing power at the expense of lives. I don't think that's something that we should be celebrating. Blocking out media, not even international media would have gotten access, right, to tell us what exactly is happening. And so what are you really afraid of if at all you there's nothing to hide? Having no observers, like international observers, right? That is not something that we should be celebrating. And so this continuous receding and retrogression in progressive ideals that we are really, really, truly fighting towards is becoming a problem. And if the people can do one thing for themselves, they can arise, they can stand up. And we are so proud of Tanzanians for doing that, taking that mandate upon themselves. I could see a lot of social media commentary of Tanzanians saying that, hey, Kenyans, you showed us that it's possible, and so we are going to go out there and fight for our country. So it's a great thing that we did in 2024. But, it's only revolutionary because things are bad. I keep saying, and I might be cancelled for saying this thing, in an ideal world, we would not be having protests, right? It's not a revolutionary thing to go out and protest. Why? We are protesting because things are not working the way they should be working. And so while I celebrate that you think Kenyans did a great job of, setting an example of what it means to hold their government accountable, and we should do that, it's your right. I'm just like, in an ideal world, and I guess I'm too much of an idealist, we should not be having protests and whatnot, but it's not to take away from the struggle, because while I'm an idealist, the reality of the ground is things are not working, governments are being haphazard with their citizens. And so if it comes to us taking back what belongs to us by going out to the streets, that's the only way we are going to be heard, then let it be so as well. But hey, this might come to bite me after. I will hope that I can still stand on what I said. And last but not least, the business daily quick glance. Your business must be managed for the benefit of all stakeholders. And this is both a moral and legal obligation. That is a story written by Carol Musioka on page 9 of the Business Daily. We also have a story on banks defy digital trend with sustained branch expansion. Old Mutual deal ups health insurance stakes. 17 counties fail to attract big investments. Spring Valley, Upper Hill, top city suburbs land price gains. And that leads us to the end of our news at glance newspapers. But again, for more coverage, and if you want to get into the details of what the newspapers are talking about today, please do grab your copy of the dailies as we get into to find out what's been said there. And right now we are going to take another short musical break as we segue right into our conversation with Mr. Kerry Mwita this morning. He is a human rights defender, and we are going to be looking at the state of human rights, not only in Kenya, but also in the region, as we've been seeing it being espoused that with the decline in the protection and the disenfranchisement of human rights defenders is happening like a circuit. It's like a syndicate across many countries, regions. And so we are going to be assessing what that state of human rights defenders is, what more can be done to ensure that their protection, and who do we need to hold accountable to make sure that that does not happen. So do keep it Power Radio as we get right into our conversation, but not before we take this short musical break. We'll be right back after this.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
Oga onyamalie, oga onjurage koro, oga ondige taitare nakene ye. Oga guwadi, oga umelie de toro, oga ondige taitare nakene.
sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Just a little bit, yeah.
The money make me fly like a kite. I wish the money make me fly like a kite. I wish the money make me fly like a kite. I wish the money make me fly
just
like
a little bit,
Matinyawa, Ogna Matinyawa, Yaedo Atinyawa, Ogna Matinyawa,
just a little bit, yeah.
Tinyawa, Ogna Matinyawa, Yaedo Atinyawa, Nusna Matinyawa.
Fresh from the fire, fresh like the sea. Bora uhai, c'est la vie. All of these roads lead you to me. Make me spend all my money for peace and quiet mystery. Forbidden fruit is out of reach. I've got a hunch, a certainty. You make me spend all my money.
Tinyawa, Ogna Matinyawa, Yaedo Atinyawa, Ogna Matinyawa.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Tinyawa, Ogna Matinyawa, Yaedo Atinyawa, Nusna Matinyawa.
A roll of the dice, a slap on the cheek. The thrill of the chase ends in defeat. If we are survivors, then we try harder. Most of my life I've been asleep. Who will I hold? Who will I keep? All of this talk is way too deep. I need to spend all my money.
Tinyawa, Ogna Matinyawa, Yaedo Atinyawa, Ogna Matinyawa.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Tinyawa, Ogna Matinyawa, Yaedo Atinyawa, Nusna Matinyawa.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Tinyawa, Ogna Matinyawa, Yaedo Atinyawa, Ogna Matinyawa.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Tinyawa, Ogna Matinyawa, Yaedo Atinyawa, Nusna Matinyawa.
Just a little bit, yeah. The money make me fly like a kite. I wish that money make me fly like a kite. I wish that money make me fly like a kite. I wish that money make me fly like a kite. That money make me fly like a kite. I wish that money make me fly like a kite. I wish that money make me fly like a kite. I wish that money make me fly like a kite. Yeah.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
All right, welcome back. That is the ever amazingly talented Tetu Shani with Spend My Money, and it's playing right here on Power Radio. This is a Power Morning Drive show with me and Wanyoike. And remember, you can get in touch with us on our social media handles. We are at Power Radio across all socials. You can find us on our YouTube channel. That is PAWA, Power Radio. Yes, please subscribe while you're at it. Hit on that notification bell so that whenever we go live, you will be the first to know as well. You can call us and text us in live on 0748 379 231 to get this conversation on the road. If you want to at me directly, I am at the Wanyoike on Twitter or X, depending on what you want to call it. It's fine. Yes. And that's just about it. Today, I'm pretty stoked to be having this conversation. Now, I am joined by Mr. Kerry Mwita. He's a human rights defender, and we're going to be looking at the state of human rights in Kenya. Now, there has been an ongoing clampdown on human rights defenders, and sadly not just in Kenya, but across the region and even globally. And so we are going to be just assessing where are we as far as human rights defenders are concerned, and what do we need to do to ensure that we create a safe and protective environment for them as well. But before I get ahead of myself, it's really good to have you join us on the Power Morning Drive this morning, Mr. Kerry.
Thank you for hosting
Karibu
me.
sana. Yes. You could introduce yourself and let the people know just a little bit about who you are and the work that you do, and then we can roll into our conversation.
Okay, thank you so much, Anne, for
Yeah.
having me once again.
Sure thing.
I met Anne in an activist sort of space, and
Yeah.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah.
My name is Kerry Mwita. I'm a human rights defender. I'm a student of law, but every time I introduce myself, I keep on forgetting because my work work has really been human rights based. I'm also the founder and director of a social justice campaign called Your Voice, Your Power that basically works to strengthen the capacity of grassroots communities about social accountability, but also democracy. I have ran several other campaigns. I particularly focus on the advancement of gender justice, democracy, and social accountability. One of the most notable campaigns that I have ran, I began this in 2023. Then,
nice.
Then I
Nice.
was
Yeah.
18 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, I was petitioning the Office of the Chief Justice to establish a specialized gender-based violence court in Migori. I later on ran another campaign to petition the revocation of an election of a tea factory director who had been implicated in allegations of sexual exploitation in the tea industry. Those are two of my most notable campaigns. Just to give progress, when we were advocating for the establishment of a gender justice court in Migori, or now they shifted from being SGBV courts to gender justice courts. The campaign later on took a different trajectory after deliberating with the judiciary and sharing the kind of financial constraints that they face. We shifted, and now right now I'm in the process of working to co-develop a policy, an operationalization manual that is that now dictates or gives guidance to judicial officers on how to best handle cases of sexual and gender-based violence.
Wow.
Yeah, so it shifted to a broader sort of national scope, though albeit to achieve the same objective.
I mean, that's if at all nothing, we can wrap up there and just go home, guys. I mean, you have done it all. It's like you've done it all, and I bet you're just getting started.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of work to do in this space, but. Allow us to go systematically. There's so many things that you have said there, but I want to begin with, where did the passion for human rights defending even begin? Where does that come from?
Interesting.
Yeah.
I've tried to introspect and wondering, but I believe it's like very much innate because I don't think it has anything with me studying law for a fact, because I began human rights work way before I was sure whether I'm joining law school or not.
Yeah.
So I believe it's in it, and I will see this in my little actions. When I was a kid, I would always ask questions a lot.
Yeah.
And back in my high school again, I used to be in the journalism club. Interesting.
Hey. Me too.
I didn't end up being a journalist. I was almost as passionate to be a journalist as I was to be a lawyer.
Okay.
So I used to use the platform in the journalism club to highlight internal injustices within the school, particularly issues of corporal punishment. So that was really what was keeping me in the journalism club, because then I would demand accountability, and I would sort of call out prefects who were proponents of corporal punishments.
Right.
But I would see, I think I would just see human rights passion within my small efforts. I would love to talk about the Constitution. And very much interestingly, my mom was reminding me this, and this is why I had someone saying the generation of human rights defenders we inherited audacity, and that is why we continue to do the work that we do. My mom was reminding me, when I was a kid, I used to be very much strong on the phrase, I know my rights.
Yeah.
So anytime someone would want to mistreat me, or I want to question something, I will always use that phrase, I know my right. And so like that has been my nickname, even in our household, I know my rights.
I know my rights. Interesting.
So I grew up knowing my rights and helping other people understanding their rights. as
So
well.
you kind of were raised to know your rights and to like you were educated
Absolutely.
about what needs to like you were educated about your rights, and like you knew what is going on in our world and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
That's a
I
blessing.
think it's the values that were instilled in me, and so
Okay.
it's just a summary of the values of integrity,
Yeah.
work ethic
Who-
that were
who-
instilled with me.
Who do you attribute this work to?
Largely
Yeah.
to my mother.
Okay.
She doesn't really identify as a human rights defender as much as I do.
Right.
But the values that because I grew up with her most of my life, and the values that she has instilled with me since then has made me have a deep sense of empathy and to know that someone else's injustice concerns me directly.
All right. Oh, I love that. All right. So talk to us about your voice, your power. First of all, I love the phrasing of that. So as you tell us what the campaign is about, you can tell us why did you decide to boil down to naming it Your Voice, Your Power? Because I think there's something very powerful about our voices. And especially in a world where we are taught not to trust our voices can be powerful.
Sure.
I think it's such a radical and revolutionary act of courage to reclaim our voices and name them powerful. So talk to us a little bit about your campaign.
Thank you so much. So Your Voice, Your Power, basically, how I coined the phrase, someone said something very important, and this was Bina Maseno, if I can remember. She says
Shout out to her. Badili Africa.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
She says the most powerful office in this country is the office of the citizen. I think that's one of the most powerful
Clock it.
things
Yeah.
I've ever had, like in the past year or so. So basically, the logo of Your Voice, Your Power is a clenched fist and an amplifier, the one that you use to protest. So we were actually I wanted to capacity build grassroots communities because I was implementing this in Migori. I was capacity building the most underserved grassroots communities, both in Korea East and West, about 150 of them, to understand the power in their voices, in demanding democracy, constitutional values, but also holding their leaders to account. And interpreting how does the constitution concern them, because people assume constitution is a lawyer's affair. People will tell you, I do not like politics, I don't take part in politics, but now bringing this boiling down to how exactly politics and the constitution concerns you and why you should actually hold your leaders accountable.
Right. Yeah. And how has it been like, even going back to that phrase that the most important office is the office of the citizen. How have you experienced the truth of that statement, even as you go on with your various grassroots activities, getting to interact with a lot of people, as I would imagine your work is? How have you experienced the truth of that statement?
I think the truth of that statement lives in every time us as citizens, human rights defenders, all of us, the whole basically citizens, active citizens, every time we have stood up to take action, there's always been a result for it. It might not always have been the best result or something that we always anticipated, but even the kind of reaction that you see from quote in quotes anti-rights actors or people that will try to curtail your rights, the reason as to why we have suppression of dissent, even in Tanzania, I don't want to jump ahead of this.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about it.
Within regionally, but also in Africa and globally. The reason we have actually suppression of dissent is because they realize how powerful your voice can be. And basically, every time we have stood to do something, there's always been a result. I was talking to you about, for instance, the campaign to establish gender SGBV codes. It was actually influenced by the fact that Migori was experiencing one of the highest GBV rates, I think at 51%. The national average was 33%, as per the last KDHS survey.
Right.
So every time you see we stood up to campaign for a SGBV code, we met the Judicial Service Commission, deliberated the Office of the Chief Justice. But at the end of the day, much as that did not happen, but the campaign is taking a different trajectory, and we are optimistic that we are actually going to influence a policy that shapes how cases of sexual and gender-based violence are handled. So there's always been a result for everything that we advocate for.
Right. There's so much in that. Now, so you're a guy, a very young guy, and of course, the biggest perpetrators of gender-based violence are usually men.
Yeah.
Now we know that women can also be, but a big chunk of them is men, and so that automatically means that the victims are usually women. So number one, why was it so important for you, a man, to stand up for the women who could not maybe perhaps speak up for themselves, and you decided that you're going to be the voice that will stand up for their rights as well? Yeah, answer that and then I'll ask the second question.
All right.
Yeah.
I believe it all starts and ends with us. And considering the society we come from, I was talking to you about the prevalence of SGBV, 51%. And looking at the kind of patriarchal society we come from,
Yeah.
particularly even within the Korea community,
Yeah.
it's you are best positioned as a man to advocate for issues of social justice. Even not exclusively on gender justice, but on social justice, you're best positioned as a man. Because much as there are challenges in the space, very many that needs to be addressed, you face lesser challenges generally than a woman human rights defender.
Right.
And you're best positioned to be resilient enough and to put up a spirited fight. And by the fact that you can stand up and you're not a woman who's likely, you're likely to face gender-based violence, yes, but not as much as a woman is.
Correct.
But the fact that you actually stand to do that, you actually challenge more women
Yeah.
to stand up and advocate for their rights, but also more men to join the bandwagon and, getting really to understand that we are not, no one is free until all of us are free. Yeah.
So the second layer of that question is, so the phrasing from, they used to be called gender-based violence centers into, what they used to be called?
Sexual and gender-based violence courts.
Into now gender justice courts.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm passionate about the phrasing and the language of things because I do believe that narratives in one way or the other can sort of alter the trajectory of how we go about things. So with the naming of them, with the renaming, I think it's a renaming. Have you seen a shift also that it's not just about the renaming of what the work that you're trying to achieve, but has there been a shift since then, or it would have just been as good as remaining what it is?
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think quite in regards to the narrative, although in a bit limited scope.
Okay.
Because the reason that's why it renamed is because we had a new policy with the judiciary called the Social Transformation Through Access to Justice STARJ Blueprint. So it was basically moving from victimizing survivors to empowering survivors. So
correct.
moving from sexual and gender-based violence courts to gender justice courts. A lot of things happened in terms of actually renaming. We no longer say victims of sexual and gender-based violence. We say survivors.
Survivors.
So yes.
And what does that do? What does that do for both the perpetrator and the victims?
Interesting. Again, this is why I believe that we actually also need to live this language. We just do not shape language. Yes, it creates a good starting point in terms of not victimizing survivors and getting to call, if you tell someone is a victim, it means they're actually defeated by the situation. But to call to refer to someone as a survivor even in court, it's an empowering term, and it just brings in the whole notion
back
of
power
exactly.
to them. Yeah.
So apart from that narrative, I also believe we have a very huge role to play as judicial service actors, criminal justice actors, in terms of actually living the language that we advocate for.
Right. And lastly, there's a policy you're developing for judicial services access.
Sure.
Talk to us a little bit about why it's important for us to, yes, it's great because, for the longest time, we know that human rights defenders are people in the streets, making noise and all not. But then there's a notch higher, which is policy, because we need to vouch for things systematically as well, and that's where policy enters the chart. So tell me why it's so important for us to merge the work that you do as a HRD, a human rights defender, but also why it's important to have that structurally placed within policy frameworks.
Thank you so much. I think someone also, I was seeing someone on social media saying that all activism is valid. There are people who do policy advocacy, others do media advocacy, like the work that Pawa does. Others do, art for advocacy and so many other avenues. So the reason as to why policy matters is because the world generally as a trans, and even Kenya in particular, we are run by systems. So unless we have organized systems, we might not even advocate for change, even through the streets to begin with. Yes, a lot of human rights defenders, of course, most of us do actually protest. It's our right. But it's also important to merge policy, because policy now dictates what we are able to do and what we cannot. If we would not be having working policies, we could not, it's not very feasible to actually go to the streets every day and actually protest. Or we need witnesses of SGBV cases actually protected.
Right.
We need a policy. If we have a policy, it automatically runs things for us.
Right.
So that is why I believe policy is very important. Also, something interesting on still policy advocacy that I have done, but also in the scope of gender justice space. On I think end of June this year, I got to participate at the Human Rights Council in Geneva, and one of the resolutions that I actually influenced was the resolution on the right to education. So basically, at the Human Rights Council, we negotiate for resolutions as civil society actors, and all the things that I did, I negotiated for member states of the United Nations to actually recognize period poverty and stigma as a barrier to quality education, but also to make a commitment to address period poverty and stigma. So what that does is that it also strengthens the basis for the work that human rights defenders does, that because of this commitment at a global platform, a lot of human rights defenders are actually able to, use it as a basis to demand accountability and to hold their governments accountable. What have you done towards eradicating period poverty?
Right.
Yeah.
And to now on to the state of, human rights defenders. I mean, are you worried? Have you obviously you've been seeing and keeping up with everything that is happening. We can talk about, is it the disenfranchisement of HRDs to their killing, to their forceful disappearance? Like, for example, we do not know the whereabouts of Nicolas Oyo and Bob Njagi as we speak about it. So as you look at the state of the world that we are currently living in, what would you say the state of human rights defenders is, but just human rights as a general concept? Where do you think we are at?
I think just like any other citizen, a rational human being, concerned, citizen, I share the disillusionment. I'm very much disillusioned by the state of human rights. But I'm also very much optimistic. So I share the disillusionment and the optimism. It might not really be your business. And this is why I believe a lot of solidarity is needed in terms of even citizens, the common citizens, to actually stand up for the rights of human rights defenders. Because you can be comfortable, or you might not really think it really concerns you, and have had conversations with many people. And I've kept on asking, do you make statements out of convenience or conviction?
Wow.
You'll be like, I think he's been abducted, but that's okay. I don't even protest. I won't be abducted. The next time they will survey your phone, they will come for you. They will come for your pockets. I was so weirdly glad that the finance bill forced citizens to go to the streets, because then it painted a picture that the government can actually come. It might not really concern you, what politics are. I know people who have never been interested in politics, but they got out to protest because the government was coming for your pocket. So I it's a two-way thing. I'm really disillusioned, but I'm also very much optimistic that we have enough solidarity, but we still need to build on the solidarity to know why exactly someone else's abduction should concern me as much as it concerns their family. It's unfortunate that Bob and Nick have been missing for a while. I think it's almost 1 month. But again, if only the most powerful office in this country, Office of the Citizen, if the Office of the Citizen actually decided to demand accountability, we would really, to a great extent, limit cases of enforced disappearances. And I see people making insensitive statements, why did they have to go to Uganda, with the incidents of Agatha, but also Boniface? Why did they have to go to Tanzania? Why did they have to go to, Uganda? But we have to travel, right? And we have East African protocols and very many other regional treaties that we ourselves as, Wanajumuias, member states of Jumuiya, we have committed to actually supporting free movement, free speech, such kind of things, open democratic society. So it beats logic, it beats sense that we actually make a commitment and one moment we proceed to do the exact opposite. It's regrettable.
And it's regrettable, and actually very regrettable. Yes, I just want to piggyback on what you've said. So when you talk about the issue of convenience versus conviction, there is somebody who might want to get into the HRD, work, but they don't know the difference between these two. So what is the interplay between these two? Can one be a starter pack towards the other? Can there be an exchange, of sort of ideas within the two? and why maybe I think you're voting for us to get more away from convenience into conviction. So I'm interested, I guess what I'm asking is I'm interested to hear more about how you go about deciding like what your personal convictions are vis-a-vis convenience being like a contributing factor towards the work that you do.
I will first begin by say human rights work, I think, is everybody's work. We just have maybe human rights defenders who are more active in the space, but human rights work basically concerns every other human. That is why it's human rights work. Talking of conviction versus convenience, this is something I brought about to paint values. It's values that makes human rights defenders or human rights enthusiasts if you're passionate about human rights. Convenience versus conviction. Okay. Do you advocate for the things you do simply because if you don't, you will suffer? Or do you advocate for the things you do simply because you believe it's the right thing to do? Take instance for people in the gender justice space, and that is why I believe it's very more important for more men to join the human rights space generally, because we have less men human rights defenders from my experience, but also the gender justice space, even the social accountability. A lot of people do not want to advocate for gender justice simply because they think they are less likely to face a gender injustice. So that is convenience. You see, I advocate for instance, maybe you advocate for gender justice because you're a woman, which is totally okay. But it's the only thing that keeps you, because if you don't, the next time you'll face an injustice. The same thing with men thinking, I can't advocate for gender justice because as a man, I'm in a position of privilege and I'm less likely to face gender injustice. The same thing in very many other instances. You think you can't travel, you are not a human rights defender, you can't even travel to another country. So you feel like why did they have to travel after all? So they deserve their abduction or the enforced disappearance. So conviction versus convenience. When you're making a decision, when you're standing for a cause, do you simply stand because if you don't, you will suffer? Or do you stand because you believe it's the right thing to do?
Right.
Yeah.
You also mentioned about the Jumuiya, right? The East African community. And I couldn't help but think about the organized. I will say this without fear of contradiction, but while you have an activist coming from Kenya, making it into Tanzania, getting every sort of just harmful thing and downright just hyenas acts happening to them, then dumped back into Kenya, then somebody from Uganda coming to Kenya, going through the same, or a Kenyan going to Uganda, and they are disappeared or stuff like that. There is sort of like an organized crime within the region. And that's where the East African community comes in. And so I wonder what accountability looks like, especially when the work of human rights defenders is being malaligned and being undermined, not only within the borders of one country, but across a regional scope. And that should be worrying enough. But I wonder what accountability, one, should look like within local governments, but also regionally. What should we be doing? And first of all, I would also like to hear your thoughts on the same, like just how deplorable the state of HRDs is when you talk about it on a regional scope.
I think the very vision, I think the founders, our founding fathers, they envision regional bodies to be institutions of regional solidarity to promote trade, cooperation, good governance, ethical leadership, and such kind of things. But it's unfortunate that we are now turning to be an injustice syndicate. It's collaborated, it's coordinated, and we even have phrases to justify this. All state sovereignty. You see, we have this state sovereignty narrative. What does actually forcefully disappearing someone, undergoing the worst of the torment you can ever imagine, have to do with state sovereignty? What kind of state sovereignty is that? I think regional bodies, I wrote sometime back in the newspaper, I think on African Liberation Day, 25th, I'm forgetting the month, and I was saying if regional bodies cannot speak for the people, then they must not be funded by them. Regional bodies, African Union, EAC, it's funded by the taxes of the people of East Africa, by the people of Africa. So it's unfortunate that we actually fund institutions that proceed to, commit injustices against us, and it's a whole web. So I think institutions, regional institutions, but also I'm looking at all these institutions and I'm wondering what institutions is independent. Look at the ESA, the AU, but also the UN is turning out to be another scam.
Yeah.
It's
we've been knowing. We've been knowing.
Yes. Yes. It's unfortunate that it's cascading down to regionally. Because yes, see, I was looking right after Samia had forcefully imprisoned Lisu and trumped up charges and proceeded to the Samia versus Suluhu election. It's regrettable that I saw the very first people to congratulate her was the African Union. The African Union did not speak anything about the situation of human rights in Tanzania. They just proceeded to congratulate her and say everything is okay. So it's very regrettable how we move on from some of these injustices like nothing really happened. But it should concern the citizens of Jumuiya. I think the people who have a remedy to the solution of solidarity is us as citizens. We can actually stand and form a very active, vibrant and defeated civil society network, but also active citizenship throughout the East African region and gradually to the African region. That is the only way to will force now our leaders to align with our pattern.
Right. I think we can take our first break here. Guys, we are here with the one, the only Mr. Kerry Mwita. My goodness. He's a very illustrious, knowledgeable human rights defender, and we are deep in the midst and the bones of discussing the state of human rights, not only in Kenya, but also across the region. We want to take a quick breather. When we come back, we will continue with our conversation this morning. So please, if you have a question for him, let us know. You can get us on all our social media platforms, and we'll be sure to read out your comments as soon as we get back on our show. For now, let's take a quick breather. We'll be right back. Keep it Power Radio.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
So tell me, what can I say? I know you're moving on, but I still want you to stay. And if it's not right now, then it's not today. But the truth is, everybody goes away. So is it real? Is it really real? Tell me if it's real. I feel every moment like the scars don't heal. If I stand right here, let the time stand still. You can't turn time, don't worry, I will. I can't lie. Try to jump, but I can't fly. Everything's gonna change, trust me, I don't know why. I can never let you go if you beg me to try. You know I'ma see you later, so it's never goodbye. I can't hide. All the memories I have can't die. Don't go, I don't think I'll ever be the same guy. Won't cry when you leave, cause I still believe I will see you again if it's for the last time. stop receiving your calls. Who you wanna hit up every time you go through it all? Never used to trip, but you the one who got me to fall. So how'd I go from having everything to losing it all? Holding on to you, my love, but now you're not in my arms. Looking at you, I compare you to stars. You mean everything and more to me. With you is where I wanna belong. With every single breath you take, you got a piece of my heart. Used to be a fire with you, now I can't even spark. Thought I had it all together, now it's coming apart. You the only one I want and everything that you are. So tell me, I know you love me cause I love you for real. Told me that you needed time, that you wanted to heal. All I wanted was to be the one to help you rebuild. Love you to heaven and back as long as I got the will.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
All right, welcome back. That is Harry Kimani with Higher. It's playing right here on Power Radio. This is the Power Morning Drive Show with me, and Wanyoike. I am still here with Mr. Kerry Mwita, and we are discussing about the state of human rights in Kenya and, of course, across the region, because there has to be concerted efforts, to ensure that we are going towards the right trajectory. So I'm curious, Mr. Kerry, to hear from you. Being a HRD, of course, this is not easy feat. It's not an easy feat, right? What has your experience been in terms of, do you get threats, from the powers that be? Are you constantly walking with your head, your eyes looking over your shoulder? Yeah, what is it like being, first of all, very young, as you are, navigating this space that can be absolutely egregious, for lack of a better word? Yeah.
I think I've gotten to engage both in grassroots work, but also policy work. So policy work has been generally, I think, more diplomatic. So the main constraints you can face in policy work is just complacency and, systems running slow as you try to advocate for change. But yes, I have to assess the impact of every other act of courage I have to do. Even when I come here, of course I have to. My mom is usually very cautious. They'll be like,
is she watching?
Are you sure? Yeah, she is watching.
Shout out to mom.
Yeah, shout out to my mom. I think, just assessing the impact. I'm going to discuss about the situation of human rights in Kenya. I kind of have to assess the impact that this is going to, cause in terms of, nowadays there's so much digital surveillance. One moment you tweet something, the other one, and it's unfortunate in the way that even Western forces right now, if you tweet something, that is not pro-American, for instance, issues of Palestine and such kind of things, you stand a chance to be denied a visa. So you see, conviction has I usually say I don't even know that I can get a US visa by now. But because of the kind of trend that you have to align, with Western countries, but also here internally, you have to assess if you have to go to a presser, what will the impact of that presser be like? What is it likely to cause? How diplomatic or less diplomatic is it? But I've generally now mastered acts that now safer, but also still push for the same change. Although sometimes you have to get out of your safe zone always.
Right.
But you can always write opinion articles demanding for accountability and such kind of things. And it's not something that you'll not be everyone's hero for it.
Correct.
But your convictions will have won over convenience.
Right. What can you say the role of social media has been in terms of propelling, I guess, visibility for human rights defenders? And also, how do you use social media to propel the work that you do? because and I think this is something that I saw most especially with the 2024 Gen Z led protests, right? On socials, we saw the rise of, I don't want, just loosely allow me to use this term, performative activists, performative HRDs, right? Because I think there was sort of like a promise to it. And I am very curious to hear from you. So one, how does social media take away from the work that you're trying to do? But also, how does it contribute and further propel the work that you are trying to do? Because I think it could be a little bit of a double-edged sword. It's just how you kind of utilize the platforms.
Yeah, now that's the convenience that I was talking about performative activism. I want to connect this up with just the last question that you asked. Still on security, I've gotten, again, I'm trying to, mirror back, and I just, don't take this so personal, but I'm trying to mirror back on some of the difficulties in some terms of security threats. For instance, when I was implementing this campaign, during one of the community engagements, I think I was doing sensitization about basic constitutional rights, and I touched something on children's rights. And this is a very conservative and underserved community where I was going then.
Where was this?
This was somewhere in Korea East, if I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
Unapenda mashinani?
Yeah. That's, I believe that is where the heart of activism lies.
Wow.
Because until
Love
you
that.
convince these people, yes, you might go to global spaces,
Right.
you may appear in national presses,
Yeah.
but until you get the message to the grassroots communities, then that message might not really matter. So I was searching something on children's rights, and it's very it's actually the exact location I'd gone was like very underserved. And someone asked me, what do you mean mtoto no, let me speak Kiswahili because asema nyinyi ndio mnakuja kuharibu watoto mkiwaambia haki za watoto. Mtoto ako na haki gani? Now you see it was already sort of a hostile reception.
Correct.
So in terms of the security threats we get both security threats too from the very community that we serve, but also from government. I've had friends who have been victims of enforced disappearances and people who you work closely with. It just means you're a heartbeat away from that. Moving on to the impact of social media. Very good. So I always wonder what I would have done without social media, because even when before I started grassroots mobilization, I was already branding myself as a human rights defender. I'm speaking about issues of social justice on social media, but it's very important in terms of even how it connects human rights defenders. The space where we met, that was the Mashujaa Love concert.
Yeah.
I got to connect with so many people I just like see on social media. We have not met, but we know each other so much, and we have deep admiration for each other's work.
Right.
And when we just meet, we just connect so well, and with so much affection.
Yeah.
So social media has been quite a win in terms of connecting activists, human rights defenders, but also speaking. Sometimes you may not have the voice to speak about something, but social media, you can just like send a tweet and 1,000 people see. You can see the impact it caused in organizing, the finance bill protest. So social media is a movement. Albeit there are very many threats that come with it in terms of digital surveillance, particularly.
Right. What does the continuous deterioration? How do you do I speak English? I don't think I speak English anymore. Yes, let's use decline. Yeah. How do you think the decline of the state of human rights in Kenya sort of reflects on Kenya's rule of law and democracy? Because I'm sure there is definitely a convergence point there. Yeah.
Interesting, because people who violate human rights know that they actually violate human rights, and for some reason are convinced that people who speak about issues of human rights are currently are apparently like overdoing. The president, all these people, governors, senators, they swear by the constitution. They understand the law. They know what is expected of them. They know the Bill of Rights. They know you have the right to protest. They know you have the right to free speech. They proceed to do they proceed to act against it regardless. But I feel like this also, to a large extent, a value problem with our citizenry. Someone was saying, again, a professor at your end, what do you mean? People who you put in office, you come here complain at you, they have done this or that. You complain over your employee. Fire them. That was very interesting, because I also believe it's a problem to do with the citizenry, because somehow we have not realized just how powerful our voices are. And that is the whole concept of your voice, your power, because we are shifting the voices and reminding you how powerful your voice is. We keep on. We must be consistent in, it goes on beyond 2027. Just casting a ballot. And when we speak of a ballot revolution, we mean absolutely everybody, from your basic MCA level to the topmost seat in the country. So basically, it's been. We have to realize, we've just not realized how powerful our voices are.
Yeah.
And this is what we must do consistently. It doesn't end with the ballots. It's a continuous, the journey to democracy. It's a journey, it's not a destination. We must wake up each day to fight for it. Wangari Maathai says, as I finalize on that, that human rights are not something we are given or we achieve. We fight for them and then we protect them.
Right. I love that. Human rights, it's quite complex, right? It's not just social. It's economic.
Absolutely.
It's political.
Absolutely.
Now, there's issues around it's environmental, because climate and all those things. So when you look at all these iterations of human rights, it's easy to feel like it's very overwhelming.
Yeah.
But for somebody who might be looking at the work of human rights and they want to get into whatever space it is in, they can pick something, whether it's a social issue, whether it's a climate issue, whether it's an environmental issue, and then just kind of fight for whatever it is that they believe in. So I wonder, in your own work, let's talk about intersectionality, because as I've begun the statement by saying that human rights, you think you are dealing with probably a social issue, but for example, when you are defending a woman who has survived GBV, in there lies her economic empowerment as well. So it's a social issue. It's also an economic issue, but also it could be political because of the status and the placing that she has in the society as well. So I wonder, why is it important for us to have this multidisciplinary approach and intersectional approach when we look at human rights issues? Because it's not just one thing, it's not removed, right? True. Yes, there's definitely a place for the convergence, so that when we have issues that we're dealing with, it's more holistic because of that, because of catering to that multidisciplinary and intersectional approaches to human rights issues.
Thank you so much. So I was trying to reflect on an analogy one of my friends gave me, and it absolutely made sense. That there's absolutely nothing that happens under the sun that is not influenced by either patriarchy, religion, or capitalism. No, it's patriarchy, capitalism, then religion. In that order.
Correct.
So all these things you've mentioned in terms of intersectionality, everything that happens under the sun is somehow influenced, by patriarchy or religion or capitalism. But now the problem now becomes when people do not believe how now patriarchy shapes economic injustices, or how capitalism shapes religion, the intersectionality in there, how each shapes the other. So again, on human rights work, every kind of work we do, again, Professor from UN was also saying, every kind of work you do, as long as it does not touch at the base of economics. You see, even what brought us out in the finance bill, it was a human rights issue, right? Violation of the constitution, extrajudicial killing. But the baseline of it was economic justice. So economic justice is very fundamental, again, when you're talking about human rights. That's why we talk about issues of social justice when you look at them holistically, environmental justice, the sustainability, all these things, they somehow have an intersectionality with economic justice. So economic justice is very important, and it's how we should really, not entirely, but it's what we should coin our work around to actually make the common grassroots mwananchi to actually understand, so the reason as why human rights work should concern me. So human rights and economic justice are all in all the same thing. So I can, not care about extrajudicial killing, but somehow it will dictate on how much, the government can take off of my pocket, or how much I can make in a day.
Right. Wow. Interesting. So I want us to talk about Sudan. So, it's just very heartbreaking what has been going on in Sudan. And more so, I don't know why, I think, do we not tell enough stories of what's happening on the continent? Because I promise you, every comment section on Instagram, when I check out, I guess my FYP is very American. It's always free Palestine, free Palestine, free Palestine. But when I come to local users, I'm not seeing anything about what's happening in Sudan, and of course it's a human rights issue as well. So what do you think of everything that's happening in Sudan, and how can the continent of Africa really rally up to fight for the state of Sudan? And I think it's a country that has been bleeding for quite a while now, but under our nose.
I think I'm very much disillusioned as well. I was listening to something Houghton Irungu saying of Amnesty that the very essence, it's not like we are giving up as a continent, as humanity, but it's because we are growing weary by day. We are seeing so much injustice that we are becoming numb. You see, like today I've seen, I usually have a Palestinian lapel, but today I've worn this again symbolically because it's like a shield of defense. So every time, I think it's also narrative around how social media frames it, but every time you see, very many people have been killed in Palestine. Right now, when I check my phone and I see, maybe 15 people have been killed in Palestine, I'll probably be relieved because it's at least a small number as compared to what has been happening. So I feel like the numbness, what has been happening in Palestine and very many other parts of the world, is slowly turning us numb. We do not feel. We've grown very much worried that we'll be like, there's nothing we can do about this. Look at what's happening in Sudan. Look at what is happening in Congo. But we are also again a brink away. We just on the brink. We just on the brink of another Free Nigeria hashtag. Because what's happening essentially, it's Western governments having direct economic interests, and that's why you talked about intersectionality. And I was telling you about how issues of economic justice are human rights issues. Even in Palestine, but in Sudan, you see there are credible reports to indicate that there are governments that are actually funding the RSF. We know they actually had their presser in Nairobi, the RSF, right?
That was just a bad diplomatic move.
It was like just off, and, they'll be like, oh, we are negotiating, we are doing this, but really are really illegitimate, but also something that it's doing is a militia group that's doing illegal occupation.
Correct.
And for us to allow them even to have a press in our country, it speaks something diplomatically. So I feel like we are growing numb by day. But also foreign government. Look, right now, President Trump has said about what's happening in Nigeria. And there's Christian persecution. I understand majority of Nigeria's population is Muslim, but they say, I think they are painting that image of excessive intolerance towards Christianity. So I saw President Trump saying he has instructed the armed forces to be standby in case there's further Christian persecution. They are going to attack Nigeria. But you and I know that Nigeria is the largest producer of oil and gas in the world. So again, economic issues, how they are directly human rights issues. And bad luck, there is poor leadership, like very poor leadership in Nigeria, as the rest of Africa and the world as you know it. Because we can't assume that America is so democratic that if they're actually allowing their government to actually, attack another country simply because they want to explain. So there's always, look at their credible reports indicate that the United Arab Emirates also has a direct hand in, funding the RSF. So issues of economic justice, that's how they intersect with human rights issues.
And it's worrying. It really is worrying that people don't see through that.
You have to
I cannot curse on radio, but and do you think this desensitization, the numbness that you're talking about, is programmed?
Quite. I think quite.
And how do we stay away from it?
I think look at what social media. It's somehow difficult because again, like it's psychological. But look at the way I feel like we talk about issues of Palestine every day. So you see, the most credible media houses again are Western. CNN, BBC, all these,
credible
media houses.
I'd like to differ. Credible.
I mean, okay. Let me reframe this.
Yeah.
Quote in quotes, credible.
Incredible.
My goodness. Okay. But like they have, I don't know, even us, we've been conditioned to believe like they're the most credible media sources. President Suluhu banned, international media houses from entering Tanzania during the election. But you see, when we highlight issues of Palestine every day, you see, if I start, if I open a radio station and I say, Anne has entered Pawa 254 radio today. She has entered, but every day I say the same news. I'm like, the next time I say someone else
Yeah.
has entered a radio station, be like,
Tumezoea.
see, people always enter
Yeah.
radio stations
Yeah.
after all. So I think that is really the agenda. So media plays an optics and psychological impact in how we view injustices in other places. But as Africans, we must talk enough about Sudan, we must talk enough about Congo, and we must demand that Western governments, including the United States,
Yeah.
give Nigeria a break.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And just like leave us alone.
Yeah.
We don't need
Like,
your
give us a
just
break.
please leave us alone.
Absolutely, yeah.
I wonder what the role of artificial intelligence is in either propelling the work that you do or undermining it, and how have you seen it playing out? Because it should be very interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think to me, much as people highlight the sort of negative impact that artificial intelligence and generally the internet has had, I think artificial intelligence has played, in my view, a quite like significant role. Although you understand the risk that comes with disinformation, we can like program AI to spread disinformation,
Correct.
bots and such kind of things that just tweet random tweets to spread malicious information,
Yeah.
which is a risk. But also, I'm looking nowadays. You can actually discuss with AI like you're discussing to a human being. And I'll come to discuss about how I got a burnout sometimes last year. You see, you can talk through AI and like, I think you're facing a burnout, and this is what you should do. And this. So in terms of even of self-care,
Yeah.
AI has played a very important role
Yeah.
in terms of research, getting you actually knowledgeable about situations that right now you just ask ChatGPT to tell you what's happening in Nigeria and what could be the underlying reasons. So it has played a big role in terms of information research, but also in terms of self-care for human rights defenders.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, as we wrap up, support for human rights defenders. What can we do? When by we, I mean local mwananchi, civil society, government, even though a little bit icky there, members of the press. What can all tenets of society?
Okay.
What can we do in terms of supporting the work that human rights defenders are doing?
All right. First,
Yeah.
can I begin by applauding the judiciary, the press, and civil society in all their in all their
Efforts.
in all their blemishes.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, they're still the best people
Yeah.
we can ever rely on as a country. It's journalists like you that gives us the platform to speak about issues of human rights work, but also we need to be more deliberate. People complain there's corruption in the judiciary. That's true. So is every other space, but in all that, they still play a very fundamental role of keeping the sanity of this country alive. Talking about a journalist, I was writing. I've been I do a lot of op-eds in the newspaper. Sometimes you get a few times, not all the times, you get to write an article you believe like is so relevant to call out injustice. For instance, and have to talk about this. The president constituted an anti-femicide task force, and they were to submit a report in 90 days. It was extended to another 60 days. The mandate expired. It's been almost 6 months since the mandate expired. The report has not been tabled.
Yikes.
This task force is remunerated by taxpayers. I was writing an article about that, but again, it's not being published. Sometimes you wonder, like, is this by design or what really, if this issue really doesn't matter? But it's an issue of social accountability. So we really have, as journalists, can we like be more deliberate about giving space to talk about social justice issues?
Right.
Yeah. So if, much as we talk about other issues, sports and stuff, can you also give, as journalists, be deliberate in giving more space to talk
Right.
about social justice issues?
Yeah.
Government, I really don't know what the
We-
government.
We don't know. We don't know. They
Just
can't
use-
support
yeah,
the work that
they can
calls
just,
them out.
but they can just use the constitution
Yeah.
at the very least.
Yeah.
What else? I'm trying to remember the other group you touched.
Local
on.
mwananchi.
Yeah, the local mwananchi.
Yeah.
Can we all have the empathy towards human rights defenders, support their work? Don't assume that the abduction is theirs or whatever they do is just theirs. Look at how that directly affects your life and actually imagine the important place and the sacrifice they make to actually keep the sanity of this country alive. So as a common mwananchi, can we also look about how their issues directly concern us?
Right.
To actually get to understand that their issues are ours. Yeah.
I think a voter's card is one is a human right.
Absolutely, you have the right to vote.
Yes, and
you
so
voted.
please talk to our people, young people, the people that are contributing towards the voter apathy and all those things. I do see a weapon on your hands right
I
now.
do have a weapon, guys.
Tell us about your weapon.
I wasn't stopped by security though.
Yes.
But you see, you can talk about bad governance day in, day out.
Yeah.
And by the way, I have to call this out because there's a narrative that's being driven.
To them directly.
There's a narrative that's being driven that there's little we can do, to change this country. After all, the ballot revolution is absolutely possible. And what's standing between us and the ballot revolution, and I'm not talking this, just about presidential elections, but absolutely every single person from them. Actually, the leaders that matter the most are grassroots, from MCS to MPs. Get your voter's card. That is how close you are to the leadership that you want.
Yeah.
If the moment you do not take this, silence is complicity. It means you're okay with, they say God is not a registered voter. So, take your voter's card and actually register. Important to clarify, if you're wondering where you should register as a voter, check the IBCX page. There is a link at the IBCX page that shows all the constituency offices that you can actually register to vote. You don't actually have to vote where you registered from. You just go to any registration center and say where you intend to vote on election day. And again, you don't need this card on the day of voting. You just go register. You're given this card as evidence, like the way I'm showing my evidence kwa kalatas. And then you can vote anywhere that you intend to, but make sure, I think that information is important to clarify. Check the IBCX page for more details.
Right.
Yeah.
With that said, we do atuna la ziada. We have come to the end of our conversation today. So what would your parting shot be? Where do we go from here in terms of, it's clear from our discussion today that we are not doing well. We are not doing well. And if nothing changes, then nothing changes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think, isn't that my parting shot? Because if we are not doing well and we are not going to do better unless we take action.
Yeah.
You take action by exercising your civic responsibility, but also becoming an active citizen. Demand answers from your local leadership, very basic level, from your chief to your MCA to your MP. Write petitions, write memorandas on how you want the budget to be allocated in your county. Engage your leaders directly because you are actually their employer. So my parting shot, can we sustain the civic momentum? And absolutely each and every one of us has a direct role to sustain civic vigilance in this country. And as Wangari Maathai said, and I just mentioned this, human rights issues are not things that are given to us. They are things that we fight for and we protect. Thank you.
Wow. That has been an incredible conversation. Where can people find you and find your work and support your work? And how can they support your work? Tell us all the things.
Interesting. So my social media platforms on Instagram is it's at Kerry_Mwita1. Kerry_Mwita1. And on Twitter is at Kerry_Mwita. LinkedIn, it's Kerry Mwita. Basically, the best way ever you can ever support my work and every other human rights defender's work is by being an active citizen. Exercise your right to vote. Go get your voter's card, because all this work we are doing collectively as civil society is immaterial if you're actually not going to, register, vote, and sustain that civic momentum to demand for spirit of constitutionalism. Yeah.
Wow. Fantastic. Kerry Mwita, thank you so much for the privilege of your time.
Thank you so much.
For the work that you're doing. And I hope and I pray that you get all the support that you need, because the work that you do is not easy. It's quite a task there, but we hope that you'll get all the support that you need, and looking forward to what you do in this space.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much for availing the time to come and speak to us on Power Radio.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's been incredible. That has been our time with Mr. Kerry Mwita. But before I go, let me just read a couple of comments. Sadly, I'm doing this at the end of the show, but shout out to Omondi Dixon. Anasema Kerry Mwita is a brilliant being. I'm inspired by him in a myriad of ways. And we all inspired right now. He's also saying I'm in the office but locked in. I love the conversation.
Thank you so much.
Wow,
Yeah.
incredible. Thank you so much, Omondi Dixon, for making the time to join us today on the Power Morning Drive Show. It's been an incredible run. So we would like to end this conversation here. But before I let you go, let me tell you what to expect later on today. We are going to be having Sharia Dive from 5 p.m. all the way till 6 p.m. with our in-house advocate, Mr. James Wanyoike himself. So do join him then for all things law and constitutionalism. And then I have to tell you, so on the 7th of November this week, Mr. AZ Cocktail is having an incredible show. It's called Shadows to Strength, and it's going to be an incredible time at the Baraza Media Lab industrial area, to be specific. Tickets are going for 3,000 Kenya shillings. So please head out to our social media handles or check him out on his socials at AZ Cocktail to get the details on how you can register and show up for him. Now, the backstory of it is, AZ is a well-known HRD, an activist, and he was shot during the... When was it shot? I can't remember. At the Mashujaa Festival last year. And so this concert really is to come and... and give into his final surgery, hopefully his final surgery, because he did experience that shooting on his leg. And so please do come support, make a lot of noise around it. And if you can do anything, just come through on the 7th of November. The gates open from 1 p.m. So please do come so that we can support our guy, Mr. AZ Cocktail himself, as we support the work that he does as well. And that's it. I think that's it. I will see you on Wednesday. I will be joined by Mr. Kajwang. We had him last week, as well as Mr. Brian Makori. We are going to be looking at the Privatization Act 2025. What does that mean for public-private assets in Kenya, and what does that mean for you as a citizen as well? And so do join me on Wednesday from 8 a.m. till 10 a.m. as we talk about this Privatization Act and everything in between. For now, it's a goodbye. Take care. And before I let you go, how can I forget? I have to tell you about the Fitness in the Word Fellowship. Now, every Monday, and I keep saying this, if it does not happen at Fitness in the Word in Nairobi Cinema from 5 p.m. all the way till 8 p.m., it probably never happened. I will be there today. So please make sure every Monday, Fitness in the Word is a place to be at Nairobi Cinema. Entry is absolutely free. See you tonight. It's in the evening. The entry is free, as I've said, for a great time in the presence of the Lord. Just come, let's fellowship together. Let's hear the word of God and be blessed together. So I will see you at 5 p.m. Yeah, I think I will. All right, goodbye for now. Thank you so much. See you.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Think you can
What a hater say, sipping on that haterade. I'm tipsy off that Tangeray and Alizé. I'm hella paid. Pair of J's on me as I hit the stage, hella bait. Toast to the hard work, so every day we celebrate. I'm just a dream chaser trying to reach paper. A few years ago, we hadn't seen Pesa, so I had to get up. Hustling never seemed better. I'm fed up, but it won't get the best of me, my nigga. I live a fast life, you can see. Mula team holding down Africa from the east, please. We're tryna stack up all the G's, getting money overseas. Mikey Tony had a dream, Luther King, we believe.
If I'm gonna make it worth it, then I gotta go hard. Go hard. Got my city on my back. If you feel me, holla back. I do it for the truth, Buffalo. We hold it up when we down. We holding it down. We hold it up when we down. We holding it. We hold it up when we down. We holding it down. Hold it up when we down. Yeah. Holding it.
gotta get that dough. Your money been the motive. Mama told me take it slow, boy. Keep your options open. Now we be all up inside your TV with a couple more beanies while we treat them haters like Stevie Wonder. Why these niggas bother anymore? Tell your tripper, shopper man, Kabungari better know that we swaggy, nigga out your swaggy. Tucci's rolling doobies with some beanies in the backseat. But I don't trust these bitches. I don't trust these bitches. I don't trust these bitches, cause they might catch me slipping. But you already know, Camula, that's that T5 flow. Yeah, not Ruby Town. You know we holding it.
And if I'm gonna make it worth it, then I gotta go hard. Go hard. Got my city on my back. If you feel me, holla back. I do it for the truth, fight for dough. We hold it down.
Ruby Town, you know we holding it down.
Hold it down.
Ruby Town, you know we holding it.
Hold it down.
Ruby Town, you know we holding it down.
Hold it down.
Ruby Town, you know
I swear I've been waiting for this moment since I was 12 now. Rock a snapback, folk a fitted, let your brain smile. And we just glad you finally listened cause you chose style. 5 mighty kids been on a mission while they talk slime. You spit, I vomit, have you on it, dog, I breathe rhymes. No Superman, just rapaholic, see my team shines. So now I'm sipping gin and tonic, we don't squeeze limes. Cause life's been bitter for a nigga, but I'm still fine. Ha-ah, ha-ah, hey. I hope you learn the basics. Boy, them A to Z's, your 1 to 3s ain't talking about the Matrix. Thanks to KFC, oh yes indeed, I've graduated to MC. Living my dreams, glory to G.O.D.
And if I'm gonna make it worth it, then I gotta go hard. Go hard. Got my city on my back. If you feel me, holla back. I do it for the truth, fight for dough. We hold it down.
Ruby Town, you know we holding it down.
Hold it down.
Ruby Town, you know we holding it.
Hold it down.
Ruby Town, you know we holding it down.
Hold it down.
Ruby Town, you know we holding it.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night.
Power